Welcome back to Cage Fighter. I'm Dave O'Donnell. I'm here with Grant Waterman, my good old mate. But today we have got a legend in the house.
MMA royalty, the maker of a film that was one of the biggest influences on me of getting back in, or getting into mixed martial arts deeper and deeper. It's Mr. Bobby Razak.
Bobby Razak.
Dave.
Now, Bob, just to enlighten some of the guys, because they see you sitting there going, film producer. This guy can roll with the best of them. I've been told so many times, if you've never rolled with Bobby Razak, you haven't been tapped out enough. I mean, Bob, where did you first learn jiu-jitsu? Let's go back to that first.
I started with the Machadas, Higan Machada, and I just really, everywhere I go, everywhere I film, I always train with the best, and if I'm filming something, I like to train. But I think really, because I work so much in the business, I get to see so many stars, I analyze so many stars, I know exactly what to do. I've got a computer.
A computer is a
computer for a brain.
I mean, last night, we was at your premiere, Mike Bisping was there, you name it in the MMA world were there, and the words what he said, and some of the guys that you filmed, it's all your filming, The Mask, which is premiering and hopefully coming out very, very soon.
Very soon.
I mean, the guys in that film, if you trained with half of them guys, you'd be a world superstar anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I tap most guys I train with because I know exactly what I'm doing. I've been in the game for a long time.
I was going to say, you've been around MMA. We were talking to Alex Reed earlier, and we said, you know, people are just getting into this sport, and they don't understand that people have been around MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for years and years and years, and that length of time. The experience of rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, you know, it's like wrestling, isn't it?
Getting tapped out and
getting tapped out and tapped out. Well, I've always said no one has never tapped ever. You know, there's
absolutely,
a lot of, you know, there's a lot of people who, you know, I'm unbeaten. But if you've never tapped, then you haven't trained hard enough. But you know, guys like you have been around forever since the beginning. Exactly. So you know.
I mean, in some of them early shows that we saw in that film, like Tapout with there, Chuck Liddell, it's so good to see because a lot of time we get so despondent. Because British won't get behind us. That you're doing all the shows, you're spending your money, you're doing whatever. But Chuck Liddell, to see Chuck Liddell in a small room and the small shows, it just gives everybody a bit of hope. So, Bobby, you were there to see the rise, to see it blow up. I mean, fantastic.
I'll give you a crazy story about Chuck. He actually fought in one of the shows that I used to promote. I would pay $250 to Chuck to fight in one of my early neutral ground shows in Hollywood. So I would give the guy, that's one of our legendary figures, $250 to fight.
Do you want another one? Anderson Silva in Cage Rage. I gave him, I won't even tell you on TV, but
nothing.
It was really, you know, so small before he blew up.
Exactly.
But even, you know, people nowadays, they see the UFC, they see how big everything is nowadays and how much money's involved. But this sport started somewhere, and all the fighters had to start somewhere. Even the Gracies that were fighting back in Brazil for nothing.
Exactly.
You know, when they put out the Gracie Challenge, you know, years and years and years ago, that, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu can beat any martial art. You know, they were doing it for honour, weren't they? And the name of the family.
Exactly.
They weren't doing it for money.
Yeah. You know, it's in our blood too, you know. I mean, like, I think with you, Dave, with you, Grant, we've been in the game so long. It's really about that we love the game. We love the sport. It's in the blood. Yeah. If there was no money, if there's money, all the way better. But we love the sport. It's in our blood. We can't escape it.
If it was all about the money,
we wouldn't be here long.
We wouldn't be sitting here now.
Long time ago, bro.
Anyway, it's a fight show. We better see some fights. You know what it's all about. This is Michael Beaumont taking on Mr. Armstrong.
These are the kind of fights I love because both guys are unbeaten.
Someone is going to go tonight. Someone
is going to go.
Someone will be heartbroken by the end of the night. Rob, 6'4" middleweight. That's incredible height. We're talking about John Jones there.
It certainly is. But we saw it earlier on this evening. Tall guys that are very lean.
Amazing he can even get to middleweight with that kind of range, that kind of height.
So straight away into the action.
Straight for the clinch, the Gracie guy, and pulls guard. Quite happy to be on his back. But half guard is Armstrong. You've got to be good at your jiu-jitsu to pull guard like this against a man like Mark Armstrong.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, Michael Beaumont.
Wow, Beaumont going for the rolling ankle lock there as well.
Leg still, nice. Broke it free.
Very beautiful reverse.
That's nice.
Turns beautifully.
Now it's Armstrong on top. Sorry, I got the names mixed up when I was getting excited. Mark Armstrong on top. Michael Beaumont on his back.
Very good jiu-jitsu by Mark Armstrong. Controlling his man very, very beautifully.
And this is why he's 6-0. Look at that, straight to mount position.
Beautiful. Beautiful transition.
I knew Carson Gracie Sr. very well. Rest in peace. He'll be very proud seeing this guy today, carrying his name.
Beautiful, looks to trap the arm.
Yeah, Beaumont does well to escape mount position. He's now got him in half guard.
Beaumont really needs to buck and go out the back door, Ian. Kind of slide out, exactly what he just did.
Let's be careful, he's got caught in guillotine.
Looks tight, looks deep.
He's got one arm, Rob, just one arm.
But he's trying to grab
now
the
he's
arm.
going for two. Nice reversal, he gets him over.
Still got the neck.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Side control for Beaumont.
And it just goes to show how well you can manipulate the body to make it do what you want it to do.
Going for Kimura.
Puts it
Working
on again.
the key lock. It's on,
It's
it's
got a
on.
key lock.
It's tight.
Very tight key lock there.
He needs to pull the hand down. No, he's lifting the elbow, but he's not. You got
Drag the hand back.
You got to
absolutely.
slide the hand down. Use it like a paintbrush.
Paint the canvas.
Not quite there.
Bring the canvas, lift the elbow. Nice escape.
Beautiful escape. Beaumont just bucked his way out of there, Ian.
Yeah, nice strong ground and pound.
Oh,
no!
he's out!
Big strong punches from Michael Beaumont.
Wow!
Armstrong doesn't know where he is. He was out for a split second there, Rob. He was definitely out. His eyes were open, but he was gone. He did not know where he was. Big strong punches from Michael Beaumont.
Beaumont was on the back foot of some phenomenal submission techniques and some great groundwork, only to come back with a huge KO.
Well,
wow.
that just shows how durable he is. He avoided the submission, he avoided the key lock. He reversed it, got on top, big ground and pound.
Now that is what you talk about, ground and pound. I mean, you were saying the submissions the guy was in, but he got out of them. It's not about submitting someone, it's getting out of them.
He was the Indian rubber man. Every time you got him into another position, he would escape. I was like, where's this guy getting it from? But you know, it's experience. You know, you're on the ground, you move, you feel the sensitivity, you move with it.
But you know what? Just sorry to butt in, and I will do it time and time again. I will butt in. Is Bobby? It's about being calm as well. He was so calm. Don't matter what lock he had him in, what he was. Look, it's just like a calm to sit. It was just about being calm.
But
if you're stiff, your body's going to react.
And you gas out. Yeah. But you mentioned Chuck Liddell earlier, and Chuck Liddell was a major figure. I think it was like a transition in MMA. You know, the Gracies, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu dominated, and everyone was starting to try and learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to catch up with the guys who were already black belts, etc. Chuck Liddell came along and had an anti-Jiu-Jitsu game. He wasn't a submission artist, but people couldn't tap him out, and he'd escape, get back to his feet, and use what he was good at.
Yeah, so anti-jiu-jitsu is a very, relevant game. A lot of people have that style. Yeah. And, he was a great wrestler too. And so he was able to counter that, and you couldn't take him down. And if you do take him down, he'll pop right up. He had a little bit of a problem with Jeremy Horn earlier. And that's when he came and fought for me afterwards. But, he had a computer too.
But back then, Jeremy Horn had about 60 fights then or something.
Another guy that's been around and again in that film right at the very beginning. You've got to take your hats off to these guys.
Do you know, we look at guys now, Josh Barnett, Jeremy Horn. I mean, you think, God, these guys must be about 85 by now, but they're not that old, are they? And still active.
So young, And just what we were saying, these next guys we're looking at, Daniel Crawford, only a young guy. What are these guys going to be like in a few years? Without further ado, gosh, let's take a look at Daniel Crawford taking on Pablo Ben.
If you take the fight, he's confident.
Oh, nice swinging punches there from Ben. Side kick, and again, Ben needs to keep his hands up. Nice.
Some hard shots being landed right now.
Battle of the kicks right now.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Ben went for the takedown, missed it.
A lot of heavy artillery being thrown at Ian.
That's what he wanted, that's what he got. He got the single leg trip in the guard.
Daniel looks pretty composed still, so wrist control, keeping the head down.
Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful with the triangle. Got to keep the head down though, Ian. This is the key right now.
Ben comes out quick.
Well, we can see already from the last fight the different stance being in the guard. You're not lying flat, your head on the wheel. More posture, that's saving from the triangle.
So just see one-on-one there, Ian. You've got posture, you can throw those punches, you can avoid the triangle.
But Crawford working really well from his back.
Trying to use those legs at every possible opportunity.
Ian, he's super slick on his back. I'm pretty impressed with him. No doubt, yeah. Hand trap, head down. He's not taking too much punishment. He's looking for the cage. He wants to get up. Beautiful. He definitely drilled that. You can see that, Ian.
Just knee to the thigh, chopping away.
This was an inside trip there by Ben.
Beautiful work by Ben.
Look how quick Crawford getting back to his feet. That's not something you do without loads and loads of practice.
Absolutely. Repetition and drilling.
Climbs over the top now. Crawford looking for that guillotine, gets shaken off. Ben with a good knee inside again.
Crawford gets it, there's the wizard. Stand back up again.
Going for the standing guillotine right now.
Fires and moves out.
Both guys are equal.
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really good.
It's down to the wire fight here, Ian. Beautiful jab.
Lots of sting in that. Crawford firing back on his own account now.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Unanswered from
Oh,
Ben.
nice jumping knee. And again he catches the leg and trips.
He was unlucky there, but he's looking to stand back up, I think.
Yeah, he
Beautiful.
Notice he didn't dive in the guard this time because he knew that Crawford got good submissions from his back.
Exactly. Crawford kind of controlling the pace a little bit from the outside, Rob. The stinging jab is the key.
Slowed Ben down, but I think Ben's just waiting, opportune, looking for that shot.
Yeah, he's looking for a way to get under the jab and the punches.
Trying to time his man. High kick doesn't connect. Ben needs to lift his hands up.
You took words right out of my mouth, Rob. I was going to say he's getting a little bit too complacent with the hands down. But now passes the guard to side control. Crawford once again uses the cage to climb
Beautiful,
back up.
absolutely beautiful.
On one leg, manages to get upright. Beautiful work.
He's drilled that many times. Beautiful work.
Great balance, great balance. Just needs to turn his hip a little bit more when he's throwing that outside kick. He's kicking it, but he just needs a little bit more turn on the hip to give it a bit more snap.
Yeah, a little bit more power there, yeah.
Ben slowed right down now towards the end of this round.
Crawford controlling the range right here, Rob. Beautiful two-punch combination there.
Ben with a nice left. And you can hear Pablo's corner calling, get them two hands up.
Oh, semi-inverted left hook uppercut there by Crawford.
And again,
beautiful.
Ben slipped.
There we go, went for his man.
Oh, what happened there?
He slipped and he took advantage of it, Crawford.
Oh, yeah, he slipped. Yeah, I thought something was up.
What's wrong?
He slipped, and he sort of looked at the referee because he was in pain. He did. When he slipped, there was a hesitation. I knew he slipped, but when he went to the floor, it kind of looked as if like something was wrong. And that's what the little pause, the hesitation was about. And then I think the referee's seen it. The referee's seen it. Good stuff by Daniel Morven.
Now that is what I'm talking about. The guy has definitely got some spark there. But, Grant, as he was saying, if you train with the best, you become the best. He's training with Jimmy the poster boy.
Yeah, and you've been around forever. You've seen guys at the top level and right the way up. And when you see someone and you say they've got something, you've got that spark, that little something, you know.
Yeah, you can't really define it. It's the sense I have, and I think one of the reasons why I flourished with Tapout all these years was I was able to spot a star, feel it, sense it. It's a sixth sense.
Yeah.
Like the movie.
Have you got any sixth sense about me and Grant?
Yeah, you're going,
we need some
you're
sixth
going
sense.
nowhere.
You're going nowhere,
Superstars.
baby.
No, but it's
Listen,
true.
hang on, shut up. They're telling me take a break. We'll be right after. We'll be back after the break.
You always dream of doing something extraordinary. And here was a chance to do something like that, and I knew that day I'd remember for the rest of my life, and I wanted to make the most of it. I mean, what am I? I'm going to end up like Kurt Cobain. I just, you know.
That could be it.
Welcome back. Wow, what a trailer. Now that is what I call Bobby. I mean, we sat through the film, and for me, it's inspirational. But to see that, if you haven't seen that film, get out, watch it there, get it on DVD, because Bobby, that is inspirational.
Yeah, it's inspirational, but it's also, it works two ways, I think. It educates the people who are new to the sport, you know, and where did it come from, and where did Tapout come from, and it's so important. Tapout was such an important part of the growth of MMA, but it's also for people like us who've been in the game for such a long time.
Well, not billionaires, you mean?
It's sort of, well, it fills the gaps.
One guy made it.
One guy made it.
Yeah, but the only person to ever make money out of MMA.
Yeah.
But did he make some money?
He made some money. I mean, he got to billions. I actually remember, have you guys heard of Warren Buffett? Warren Buffett basically owns America, owns every major corporation from Microsoft to, you know, he has his hands, you know, in the federal government, blah, blah, blah. So I remember the first time Charles said, you know, hey, Warren offered 225, then it came up to 350. I mean, like, you know, we had guys that was coming and offering money, and he said no. I was like, no, that's nothing. You know, I'm going to make $1 billion a year. I'm going to become bigger than Nike. So his vision was very, very big, you know.
Anyway,
yeah, he believed in himself. You know, he's like that guy who, you know, you can know he's going to be a champion. Ironically, when Carl Winslow beat Nick Chapman, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, I knew he was going to win because there was an aura about him that felt he was going to win it.
Well, now you've told everybody about it. I'll tell you what we're going to do, Bobby. We're going to look at that fight. Now we know who the champion is. We're going to look at it. This is Carl Kingslow taking on Nick the Headhunter Chapman.
I reckon it was nice things, Bobby.
Exactly.
Well, Nick Chapman, the headhunter, he will look for the head of Carl Kingslow. Carl Kingslow, will he take them big shots? Oh, he's down! Kingslow's down!
My God.
Big shots! The headhunter! He takes him to the floor! Wow!
Kingslow back into it quickly. He's got his awareness back.
Well, we said before, Kingslow's got to take a big shot before he goes down.
Chapman needs to really go on his guy and take advantage of this, Ian.
Well, like you see, he hasn't got the nickname the headhunter for nothing. He hits hard, Nick Chapman. But we know that Kingslow can take a shot as well.
Very hard hammer fist there too.
Given time to compose himself now.
Yeah, he's
Kingslow.
doing well. He's tying up Chapman.
Yeah, he's just trying to clear his head, trying to get his breathing organised, trying to get his head clear right now. Chapman should push the head down there, Ian, and try to break his man free. Yeah,
it's very hard. He's striking the body from there, but it's not really going to do much apart from tie Chapman's arms out.
Yeah.
The referee's looking on close. There's no power in those shots.
Yeah, if you can maybe release that left arm and
There's no real
cross
damage
face.
being done.
Referee saying he's stand him up, but he doesn't see any progress. Now there's Chapman trying to cross face. Needs to put the arm across the face and push him back.
Push
there we go. That's
go.
what he needs to do.
Keep the head stabilized. Now he can attack now. Once you control that head, Ian, then you can really lay some damage.
Kinslow's been there 100 times.
Very, very cagey, Kinslow.
Big shots coming down now.
Needs to release that arm, push the head down.
Oh, he's caught a guillotine, arm in guillotine. Chapman in a half guard. Is that tight? It looks tight.
He's
out.
in,
Unbelievable.
Beautiful.
Oh
Beautiful
my.
work.
Oh my God.
Kinslow, guillotine choke, arm
From
in.
half guard, arm in, guillotine.
Wow. Chapman walks off.
Very hard guillotine to pull off from half guard, arm in. But he did
Wow.
it. He did it.
Well, Bobby Razak was right. It's as if he's seen the fight already. Carl Kingsley, as you say, he was cool, he was calm, but did he get knocked out? Chapman sparked him, and then he must have woke him up to get him again.
Do you know what? There's a very dangerous point in a fight is that first few seconds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do they touch gloves? Do they not?
Well, a lot of fighters don't touch gloves, but we were at an Anderson Silva seminar, and he said that's the reason he always goes out and touch gloves, because that is the start of the fight for him. You know, a lot of fighters don't. They're not ready, are they?
Yeah, until they
until they get banged.
Exactly.
Well, Carl Kingsley weren't ready for that punch, that's for sure.
Yeah. We came back well, and that's why he's a champion.
As you said, cool, calm, because he was down there, he was just weathering the storm, regaining, getting rid of the cobwebs and going, I'm going to guillotine ya.
And Nick was just a little bit overzealous there as well.
He just wanted it so badly, because that's all he ever wanted. He wants that belt so badly, he wants a rematch.
But do you know what? One thing, Nick Chapman, you know, you've given him opportunities to fight for that title, but even now, I mean, he's got such a you know, the headhunter army, you know, behind him. He's such a publicity machine, but he's still pretty inexperienced. You know, he hasn't had that many fights, has he, to get to the level where he's at. And I'd like to see him go away, fight a few credible people, and work his way back up rather than just keep on.
Them two, they had a Twitter war. It went crazy.
Chapman wants a rematch, doesn't he?
It's all everywhere. But all I can say to you, sometimes, just as you say about the mask, about it's in their blood. They can't see. No, they just got to be focused. And that's one thing you got to hand to Nick. He's got his own gym. He's got his own brand. It's fantastic. From nothing.
The self-made guy, you know.
Self-made billionaire or something like that. Anyway, this fight is again a massive title fight. But little guys, this is Dave Lee taking on Ashley Grimshaw.
For us, we feel it pushes the pace of the fight. If you give a fighter 5 rounds, it's easy enough to use those 5 rounds. If you give them 3, it pushes the pace.
Makes sense.
So Grimshaw looks like someone's going to have to wake him up, let him know he's in a fight.
He's always like that, though. He's always calm and collected. As soon as the bell rings, he's ready. Dave Lee throwing an axe kick, high kick.
Dave Lee looking very flexible as they close range, come together.
Oh, nice trip there, beautiful.
Dave Lee steps over into full man position.
Ashley Grimshaw needs to get him off.
Grimshaw trying to roll Dave Lee off, but Dave Lee half guard position.
Yeah, works well the butterfly. Oh, works the guillotine. The submissions of Dave Lee are fast, but again, Grimshaw pulls out nicely.
Good scramble defense by Grimshaw. Both guys are like very tactical grapplers, Rob.
But did not show the versatility of Dave Lee. He came out and threw some punches just to take Grimshaw's mind off what he was going to do. Then he closed the gap and swept him down to the floor. Beautiful work. But Grimshaw now has Dave Lee up against the cage. While he's there, he needs to work, he needs to throw punches, he needs to throw knees. Let Dave Lee think about what he's got to do.
Dave Lee working beautifully with his right leg, just giving Grimshaw something to constantly be aware of.
You see the head pull there that Dave Lee did. He pulled the head, tried to take him down again with a trip inside kick.
Spinning heel kick.
Oh! It's still on! He's out! He's out! Oh my God!
Unbelievable!
Dave Lee stepped in! Grimshaw, left hand, drops him down on the canvas. The referee said carry on.
And he looked in trouble.
Ashley Grimshaw, he did carry on. He allowed him to do that.
He looked in trouble until that shot landed. Beautiful work.
I can understand why the referee let it go, because when a fighter goes down to the canvas, this is the high kick, watch the replay. And as he steps forward, the left hand, boom, takes him down. See, he put his hands up to defend. As he hits the floor, watch.
Block and fire.
Yeah, boom, now he puts his hands up, watch, there, to stop it. Now we can understand why the referee stopped. You can understand why the referee stopped and said carry on.
Beautiful work, Grimshaw, beautiful reaction, left hook, finds a home.
I don't think anybody has to wake Ashley Grimshaw up. Now it's time to wake Dave Lee up.
Like you said, that bell rung, and he woke up, looked in trouble for a few moments, but wow, what a reaction.
As the referee ran close, Ashley Grimshaw thought he was going to stop the fight. It wasn't. The referee is a professional. He went to check to make sure that insufficient blows weren't thrown.
again, the new champion, Ashley Grimshaw. Is he going all the way? You never know. He's got, again, belief in himself.
Well, he's a fighter. He seems to have been around forever. He was great back in the day, but he doesn't seem to have sort of progressed consistently over a period of time. He comes, he fights for a bit, and then he sort of goes off the scene.
Got a family life, he's getting married. It's really hard, Bobby. You know you're saying you've got a family, you've got kids, you've got to try and make a living as well. And people don't realise, without the sponsors, without the people helping us, how can... That's what Marshall's all about. How can he get these guys to train full-time on a wage? And that, you've got to take your hat off to.
And something Mars used to say too, for you to become successful, you have to be very selfish. It's like if you're worried about this, that, and what that person doing, you got to be disconnected from your family a little bit. You got to be an extremely selfish individual to become a multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire. It's a very, very hard job.
But that's me done then. Well, that's me done then.
It's like, they say, you know, you've got to be cruel to be kind.
Yes.
And it's like, if you're a father, it's almost like you're being cruel to your family and your kids to be kind to them later on.
Exactly.
And that's an example.
It's a good way to put it, yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
Dad.
Okay, Dad. Yeah.
I am a dad.
Cheers.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, son.
Right, let's quickly talk about, you've got another big films, The History of MMA. I've seen the premiere of that. Amazing film. Bobby, tell your fans, go and see it. Tell them what it's about.
History of MMA basically is what Dave just said. It's the history of mixed martial arts, covers the sport from the very beginning, and it goes to where we're at right now. It covers all the trials and tribulations, what happened with Senator John McCain, how the sport was blacklisted from cable, and all the trials and tribulations with regard to that. And it's an incredible film, and it's going to be coming out pretty soon. I also have another film.
Mexican Fighter.
With Cain Velasquez.
Mexican Fighter. It's about an Italian guy.
Are they all lightweights?
No, Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez, there you go.
Rather large Mexican.
You can't get much better than that. Listen, if you don't know Bobby Razak, Google this guy because he will amaze you. From O'Donnell and Grant Waterman, from Bobby Razak, the billionaire, to me, Dave O'Donnell, the pauper. We'll see you next time on Cage Fighter.